Hello, everyone.
Hello. Welcome back to D&D. Last time, you guys were on your way south from Northgard after sort of freeing the city from the clutches of the orcs, feeling rather heroic, and also having the soldiers now free to go down and aid with the tower. And demons and devils and all sorts of fiendish creatures spawning from it, flying around everywhere, causing a lot of havoc. There is now troops to push them back and help rebuild what was lost. On your way back, you decided to sort of look into something that you guys heard on your way up to Northgard. You overheard a sort of large elven convoy of ships, and within the middle, in a large frigate, you heard this roar, which Mazzy thought might be a dragon. So you went to White Parish, and after speaking to the harbour master, who then directed you to the high elf of the White Parish's aide and the admiral of the White Parish fleet, you were told, you sort of confirmed your suspicions through the aid of the High Wizard that within the boat was a dragon. It spawned from the tower, and the High Wizard and people have sort of sent it down south for some reason. And the others went to the admiral, who was very, very secretive. He seemed to sort of hold something in his pocket. He was he first liked the group, but then became rather confrontational. And
that's how all of Mazzy and Oramis's relationships go, I think.
Bit of a dickhead.
Like him
and he didn't really tell them much other than he gave them a name. He accidentally let slip a name of a place called Behold, whatever that means. Also, you guys found a guy who was sort of like floating on a little raft. I never told you his name, which I'm glad because I don't have a name for him. But he told you that he was part of a sort of merchant vessel, and this merchant vessel was attacked by the Black Gale, a large frigate ship that Oramis has had some experience with. Unfortunately, the last time he saw it, it took his wife from him and his old ship and his old crew as well. Rather sad.
Just realised, Luke, your backstory is a bit Shadow of Mordor.
Is it?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happens at the beginning of Shadow of Mordor, doesn't it? He loses his wife.
His wife and son are killed, yes.
Quite brutally.
You find out you're also possessed by the spirit of an elf who made it your ring, then...
I mean, I am half elf, so...
He's not quite possessed,
he
but...
And then he was possessed by an elf ghost.
Oh my god. So you did that, you kind of decided... Oramis obviously at first wanted to sort of seek revenge, but everyone was like, well, he's got a big ship, like 32 guns a side, we have a small ship with 2 guns per side, so that's probably not a great idea. We'll leave that till after we've done the tower, and you finally decided, hey ho, let's go do the tower. You headed south, and as you headed south from White Parish that evening, it was already evening, so by the time you were setting off, it was probably getting very, very late, rather dark, and you all headed to sleep. And that night, suddenly, on Mazzy's shift, the clouds began to form and twist and turn, and they sort of converged in a spiral on the ship. And from the spiral came a man who you identified as one of the King's Guard of Ambyr. He pleaded out to you, asking why you didn't help him, why you weren't able to save him and his comrades, before then passing back out. And once he passed back out, you all sort of discussed in yourselves, what should we do with this guy? And suddenly his form began to change. His skin became this mottled red, and his sort of flesh became gaunt and tight over his bones. Sort of black armor began to bulge in places as he grew in muscles, and over his back, sort of the back armor sort of shot out and came these 2 large wings. We're in combat. It's been 2 rounds, and over these 2 rounds you guys have dealt something like over 50 damage to this guy. You've done like something like 50 damage to this guy, keeping him back with all this loot.
That's not how I read that at all. I was like, Boo Canna.
See, I read it as Bo Canna. I was like, what's Bo Canna? Yeah, so you guys have been sort of keeping this guy at bay, but in the last round he got rid of the Phantasmal Killer, the effect of the Phantasmal Killer on himself, played by Gylndan, and a Guardian of Faith suddenly brought up onto the playing field, onto the ship, a large sort of angelic force with
I meant to ask about
large sword and shield. Yes.
And don't think into it too much, I just think it's quite funny. But obviously we're on the sea, so we're moving quite a bit. Does the Guardian of Faith stay in the exact same spot?
I'll say...
Because would we not just move away from it?
I would say because of this it was cast in... Because you are on a moving vehicle, this is not something that you could sort of like do, but because you're on a moving vehicle, it moves with you upon the vehicle.
Yeah.
This isn't to say you could like cast it on a box and then move that box. No.
What about if
because this thing is classed on a vehicle.
Oh, that was... Can you imagine that? Just charge that through a castle or something.
I would also not really allow that.
Well, it disappears after it deals a certain amount of damage, so...
Yeah, like 60 damage, and then you've got Chikara, who deals like a Jillion damage anyway, because it's an elephant. Because I was stupid enough to allow Sam to give you an elephant.
We need to have a look at your maths, Ben.
Yeah, probably. I've done maths in a very long time. Anyway, it is now its turn. And if you also remember, Oramis scored a bit of a cheeky critical hit on this thing the last time.
With the Eldritch?
With the Eldritch Blast, so he's going to go 5. Actually, he's going to go 5, and then he's going to try and make the dex save from the thing. What's the DC?
My spell save DC is 15.
Hang on a second.
He fails.
Isn't he possessed by Sam or something?
No,
he got rid of it.
Ah, right.
He fails.
Damage, though.
So he takes 20 radiant damage.
He does indeed take 20 radiant damage. This sort of large spectral guardian sort of swings down, slashes at his side, but he keeps moving forward, his eyes fixated on Oramis now. Bam.
He's a handsome bloke.
20 feet of movement there. And he's going to try and attack Oramis now. So to set the scene a little bit, obviously it was a fairly sort of bright night before, but now clouds have come over. It's sort of started to rain a little bit. The winds have picked up. Your crew are sort of straining to keep the boat together between you guys fighting, still sort of watching out for this Kingsguard Death Knight murderer. And in the distance, suddenly you can see the sort of flash of lightning, but you don't hear the thunder.
It's because it takes time for to reach.
No, I think it's because someone's about to take a whole bunch of damage.
But he brandishes his blade, and as a bonus action, he utters a few words, makes some sort of movements with his hands, and I'm going to assume that a 26 hits you, Oramis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds pretty close.
And with
it's got to be tight.
He's going to cast Thunderous Smite on you.
Oh shit!
So that's 4 plus 2. That's 6 plus 4. That's 10 plus 6. That's 16 plus his strength is 4. Could you take 20 damage from me, please?
Not with these reflexes, my man. I think a cheeky uncanny dodge.
Uncanny dodge is your action. Could you also make me a strength saving throw?
Yeah.
That'd be well awkward if you fell off your own boat.
That would be bloody awkward.
Oh, never mind.
I've got my sea legs. It's fine.
He's got his sea legs. So you see this guy sort of charge towards you. The Guardian of Faith slashing at him, but he doesn't care. Spins around his blade as he strikes. This huge boom ripples out from the blade and the strike against you. And you can literally even like see the water sort of like convulse all around you. The ship even moves and shudders slightly. Everyone can just hear this deafening boom, and Oramis is sort of knocked back a tiny bit onto just sort of the back of the railing, but he sort of steals his resolve, and he's kept there. And because you made the thing, he's really, really not happy with you now, so he's going to attack you again. 17?
That, my friend, is still a hit. Yeah.
4 plus 1 is 5. That's 9 damage.
Okay.
What's he going to do now? Seeing that you've used up... Yeah, seeing that you've used up your reaction, and he doesn't really like the fact that JJ's been doing all this shit on him and he tried to banish him, so 5, 10, 15. Going to go hit the old dwarf.
He's technically in part of the thing there.
But, because it's still his turn, it's on the first time of your time on your turn.
True, that is true.
How many attacks did I get?
He gets 3 attacks, fun fact.
Oh, wow.
This is probably quite important. Doc, what armor are you wearing right now?
My leather, obviously, I'm on a ship.
Right, your leather armor. So an 18 hits.
Yeah, it does.
There we go. Do you also have your shield out?
I would expect so.
There we go. So that is 2 plus 6 is 8. Could you take 12 damage from me, please? And also, Oramis, can you make me a concentration check?
Oh, damn it.
Because of your hex.
Yeah.
Do you want to chuck? Oh, you might have failed it, but...
So it's just a constitution save. Just saves. And Doc, could you make me one as well?
A what, sorry?
Concentration for your Guardian of Faith. No, it's just up, isn't it? Yeah, it's
Luke,
just up. Never
Luke,
mind.
do you want to whack a little watch on your...
Yeah, do you wanna stick a little watch
clock
on your thing for me? Just to make things easier.
Love to. I would love to. There you go.
And I don't think there is anything else he can do on his turn. No, there's nothing else he can do on his turn. Awesome. Next up then, it is Gylndan.
Did you say he had wings?
He does have wings.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, there goes my plan of starving him overboard
I was thinking the same thing.
to sink to the bottom. God, there must be some strong wings to carry an armoured man. Right. I think I'm going to try Phantasmal Killer again.
Oh,
Yeah.
sorry, I didn't mean to stick that in the chat.
Agonizing Blast.
Okay. He has to make an intelligence save, right?
Devex Intelligence, let me get it up
Wisdom
quick.
for Phantasmal Killer?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, wisdom. Alright, he's got a +5 to these, so that's it. Oh, what's your spell save DC?
What did he roll?
15.
He rolled 15. Yeah, my spell save DC is 15.
Oh, so he passed. I think.
Yes.
Is that a pass?
Equal
Yeah.
as pass.
Gutting.
It's the same as equal on AC as a hit.
Yes. You rolled a 10. I'm very
Big.
sorry.
That's alright.
Yes, you try for Phantasmal Killer once again, but this time sort of knowing the effects of it and sort of shaking it off once before, he seems to sort of innately just sort of shudder and shake himself off, now facing off against Doc right next to him. Is that all on your turn?
Yeah. Just for future reference, is Smite. Smite's a spell, isn't it?
Smite is a spell, yeah.
Okay,
cast
I'll
it.
buy that.
Yeah.
It's only a spell when he casts it on his weapon.
Yeah.
For example,
Yeah.
if he casts it and then he misses, he still has it. The weapon is still imbued with the spell.
Yeah, he casts it as a bonus action on his turn on his sword.
Yeah.
Or on whatever weapon he has.
But if I can spell it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess he doesn't have divine. Well, he might have divine smite, but a different version of less divine, undivine smite.
I guess you'll find out. Mazzy.
I am going to move up to here.
Alright.
I'm going to Hunter's Mark him and whip out a silver short sword.
Whip out a silver short sword.
Here we
Roll
go.
the hit with the short sword. Misses, I'm afraid.
At least I get
Say
another attack.
what? 17 misses.
He's got 18, hasn't he?
He's wearing plate.
Imagine you're fighting Doc.
And once again misses. You pull out your short sword and engage in this quite fierce duel with him, and it's uncanny how fast he's sort of moving with such a huge sword in his hands. And he's also like using his like wings to sort of move himself around as well. So whenever you think there's an opening, his legs are sort of moving one way and stuff. His wings just sort of almost like just and pull him back just a little bit, just to dodge out of the way of your blade. It's scary how
many of these guards were there in the tower?
50.
There was 10. One of them escaped. You're now fighting one.
Cool.
One was to die each day. It has been more than 10 days. So now.
Why'd you kill them when they're quite good soldiers?
Well, no.
Who am I to question Tiamat?
One was to be turned each day. Sorry.
Oh.
And I think you've just found out what turned means. So there we are.
He's no longer a conservative. He's more of a Labour.
More of a, what do you call someone who supports a dictatorship? Whatever the hell that means. Anyway,
good answer.
Yeah.
A fascist?
Oramis. Yeah, fascist. Whatever.
Yeah.
Oramis.
Indeed. I've been thinking this whole time and I still can't decide what to do. I'm going to go to there. Eldritch Blast. DOS times.
Yep.
Well, yeah.
Oh, that's
Fucking hits.
All damage. 3 d10
Plus D6 because of the necrotic damage from Hex.
Yep. Has that rolled the? That hasn't rolled the +4 on it because of your thing, has it?
No, it is not.
Why is that done that? I put it as attack damage. I set it to plus charisma last time and it didn't do it. So that is actually 17 damage?
Yeah.
Because 3 plus 10.
Is he dead yet?
So
He will be when I'm finished with him.
19.
Eldritch Blast is putting a shift in.
If you just give me 1 second.
Absolutely. De nada.
So you cast Eldritch Blast, this sort of what do you say, like this bluish purplish sort of thing flashes from your hands, smashes him straight across the shoulder, and before you can even cast the second one, he just turns and points out a finger at you. And can you make a dexterity saving throw? As suddenly these flames erupt from the thing, and he casts Hellish Rebuke.
Oh my
Actually,
lord!
He's going to upcast it to 2nd level as well.
Don't bother.
3d10.
It's fine. 25.
You take half damage.
Did you say 3d10?
Yeah.
Get off my back.
That's
Half though, that's likely to be not be fantastic.
That's 16 full, so you take 8 damage.
Okay. Okay, well, I'm still going to bop him in the face with another Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
Isn't that a critical for you? Because of your hair?
That's an...
Is
it with Hex?
No, that's
No,
only with
that's-
Hex. That's with Hexblade Curse.
which I haven't put on.
Yeah, you haven't put that on him yet.
Hex is not really the same as...
Plus the D6, so that's 11.
As 11.
You are something to be reckoned with on the sea, Aramis.
the upgraded hand crossbow you were looking for.
Yeah. So the
Is he dead yet?
he's not So obviously, you cast these two Eldritch Blast. After the first, these sort of spectral flames sort of rise up. You manage to sort of leap up, almost taking only a little bit of the damage, and then just as you land, you blast the other one with your other hand, and again it smashes it over the stomach. It looks pretty hurt. As it sort of like stumbles and sort of staggers against the side of the ship, almost using its sword to sort of keep itself up.
Okay, well, it's also going to have a little bit of the old stabby in the throat.
Stabby in the throat. Roll to hit.
I can't find it. There we go.
Oh my lord! Have you rolled below a 20 today, Luke?
God.
No, can we just finish the session there?
Roll damage.
5 plus 3d6 for sneak attack.
3d6 sneak attack.
10 plus
10
1d6 for necrotic damage. Oh, Ron, that's disappointing.
I'm pretty sure you've just
overall,
dealt
that's 16.
over 40 damage.
But it's halved because your blade isn't magical.
Oh, yeah.
So that's 16. So that's now actually 8. Yeah, and you sort of sprint up to him, sort of really now feeling the sort of fury. You've had a long, pretty hard day, so you manage to sort of catch this very, very narrow thing between his sort of helmet, which is barely now fitting over the fiendish face you can see underneath, and the sort of shoulder pad. You do manage to sort of catch a little bit of the throat. He's fucking pissed at you now.
This is my fury because I've been told I have to wait longer for my vengeance.
Yeah.
We're learning what motivates you, Luke. That's good.
He's still up, and it'll be Dokrumir's turn.
Alright. I'm going to step away from him.
Is that a disengage? Nope. Alright. So he gets attack of opportunity. I'm assuming a natural 19 hits. That's 26. So what is that? That's 2d6. Where's my d6 gone there? 5 plus 6. 11 plus 4. 15 damage.
Cool. I'm then going to put my shield on my back. Pull out my hammer. Hold it in a two-handed grip. And shift it into greatsword form.
That's a thing?
That's a thing I can do.
Why have you never done that before?
Because it's quite a new thing.
So you watch as sort of Dokrumir. You watch as sort of Dokrumir steps back. The rain now hitting quite hard, and beneath his hood, you can just hear him mutter a couple of these words of Apollo, and suddenly the hammer changes and it sort of elongates and becomes thinner as well. This extremely bright, beautiful blade, this large as well, greatsword blade, appearing the sort of sigil of Apollo that was the caduceus, that was sort of big on the hammer, is now sort of embedded into the sort of hilt of the blade now. And what would you like to do with your greatsword?
I'm going to tell him to come and have a go if he thinks he's hard enough.
Hey.
And cast Spirit Guardians about myself.
About yourself. Alright. Spirit Guardians is 15 feet? Or 10 feet?
15 feet, yes.
15 feet, 5, 10, 15. So he would be affected by that.
He's currently still in the range, yes.
Indeed. He doesn't need to make a save now, it's on his turn, right?
It is, and I was going to draw it on the map, and I'm drawing the wrong shape, so forgive me. But I will sort that out while you do whoever is next.
It is him next.
Ah, excellent.
It seems rather unfair, but I'm going to go for Oramis again, because you have been dealing the most damage out of everyone. And so far, Mazzy doesn't seem like much of a threat.
Mazzy just doesn't have a shield.
So...
He does start his turn when it is.
He does. So...
me or him?
Him. No, I'm not.
He will... What's the save?
I believe it's a wisdom save.
a wisdom save.
So
Alright.
wisdom save, DC 15.
He's good at them.
He is, but it doesn't take damage.
It's 11 plus 5, 16. So he takes half. What's the damage? What's the damage, Sam?
14, half to 7.
Halved to 7. Cool, yeah, these, what do you say, these like birds almost?
Yeah.
These sort of like spectral birds sort of fly around, and he sort of ducks out of the way of some, sort of his mind being quite, his mind still being almost paladin-like, some of them just sort of veer out of his way. But he does still get hit by some. And I'm going to assume a crit hits you, Oramis.
Oh shit!
I'm just going to assume.
Assume
Okay, that's
away.
great.
Then.
That's,
Like, how much
that's
health you
one.
got there?
Rapidly depleting.
That's
34.
5,
We'll see what this does.
11, and 13. Could you take? Oh, maths. 16 damage from me, please.
Can I uncanny dodge that?
You can, as your reaction. So that's 8. He's probably looking to get out of there. He's then going to
Does he have a fly speed?
10, 15, 20, 25. He does, yeah. So he's going to move. What's his fly speed again? 40, alright. So he's going to move 10 feet up, which will give you guys an attack of opportunity. So if you guys, if Mazzy and Oramis, you want to do that now. Oramis doesn't get his, just Mazzy. Mazzy, you're going to roll an attack of
Watch me waste
opportunity
it.
with your,
You got
with your
this
short sword.
Get off my boat.
Does that
I'm
move
going to
provoke
and
the
it should fall back
guardian again?
off the.
No, because it's
Right.
at the start of his turn.
No, not the spirit, not the spirit guardian, it's the guardian of faith.
Oh, that's interesting. Read to me the Guardian of Faith,
Okay.
or put it in chat. I don't mind which.
A large spectral guardian appears, hovers for the duration in an occupied space. The guardian occupies the space and is indistinct except for a gleaming sword. Blah blah blah. Any creature hostile to you that moves to any creature hostile to you that moves to a space within 10 feet of the guardian for the first time on a turn must succeed on a dexterity saving throw.
A dexterity saving throw, and he is technically still. That is still technically within a space. So yeah, I'll say that still does. So he needs to make a dex save. 17 plus 1 is 18, so he passes, but that's still 10 damage.
Yeah, that's half.
I cannot believe that thing still does 10 damage. And he's going to go 5, 10, 15,
Guys,
20, 25, technically 35. And actually he's going to move the full 40. No, he's not. He's going to move there and go down 5 feet so he can actually hit you.
is he still in the air?
He is still in the air.
And
And
can I cast shield as a reaction?
he might not hit you. I mean, he's definitely going to hit you.
I meant to look up the other day if I could call it after you've called. I'll have a look.
It's after I've said...
Oh, when I'm hit by attack, yeah, okay.
Yeah, when you're hit by an attack. So he's going to... actually, he's going to... What spells does he have? Yeah. So as he sort of flies over in your direction, obviously Mazzy sort of dodging out of the way of Mazzy's strike, he sort of glides over.
Oh, is that what we're
now.
calling it? A strike?
I mean, did he even need to dodge? Did I sort of just drop the sword behind me when I picked it up?
He once again sort of flourishes and brandishes his blade, and suddenly it just glows with this beaming bright
Suddenly,
light.
it's just going to stop glowing.
Is it now?
Yeah, counterspell.
Counterspell. Alright.
Ew.
it begins to almost like begins to glow, and then suddenly it just stops with a sort of flick of Gylndan's wrist. It just very suddenly obviously stops, and he's gonna strike you, Gylndan. That's 9 plus.
Can't
Yeah,
tell
that
me a shield as reaction.
No, you can't. Counter spells as a reaction.
That's true. Bad, Sam. That's okay. Go on, hit.
Gonna hit. 2 plus 1. Lovely. Plus 4. So that's 7 damage.
I'm so cool with that.
And then he's gonna hit you again.
I'm cool with that.
13.
13. What to hit?
Yeah.
Yeah, that hits. Oh no, shield lasts for the whole turn, doesn't it?
You didn't cast
Oh, I haven't
shield.
done shield. Oh, there's so much going on. Yeah, that hits.
5 plus 5 plus 4. That's 14.
Nice.
And he sort of ends his turn. If you imagine, he's sort of perched up on sort of like his wings are still flapping, but his feet are sort of somewhat on the railing, looking like he's going to go for the weak guy again. Although he's still keeping sort of one of his eyes just sort of like, it's almost creepy. One of them is like staring directly into Gylndan's eyes, and the other is sort of looking out to Oramis. He's, Oramis has dealt a lot of fucking damage, and very aware they have an archer as well. We'll go back. Gylndan, 'tis your turn.
Oh, so is he hovering in the air?
He is, if you imagine, he is 5 feet up technically.
Yeah.
So if you imagine his sort of legs and knees are at your sort of like waist height. Yeah. He's within your attacking reach.
Okay, how do you feel about me casting a lightning bolt?
I feel...
Do you think that would set the boat on fire?
I don't think you would. Because he's up in the air, and obviously it's only a railing, it only goes up to like your waist.
I'll read you the
It's not.
spell description if you want, and then you can make a judgment on that.
Okay.
Okay, so a stroke of lightning forming a 100 feet long line and 5 feet wide blasts out from you in the direction you choose. Okay, actually, I feel like that wouldn't hit the boat then if it's blasting out from me.
Yeah, it's blasting out from
I thought you were calling
and
it
you're
down.
technically looking
It's not very
diagonally
full.
up.
It's Emperor
If you were,
Palpatine
yeah.
style.
So if you were,
Yeah.
yeah.
Right,
So
that.
if you were going forwards, if he was stood on the space right next to you, I would say that would catch the railing on fire because
Yeah.
it's 5 feet. But because he's up, I would say no.
Okay. Did someone say Emperor Palpatine? Right. Let's do this then. So it's a dexterity saving throw.
Dexterity saving throw.
34.
34. That is a. Whew, it's sort of pointless him even making a save. He passed the save with the nat 20, but even still. Wait, what's 34 halved? 34 halved is
17.
17. That'd be 10. How would you like to do this?
Well, shouting like Emperor Palpatine. No. Well, I've just taken a bit of a beating from him, so I'm sort of going to channel all of that into this really aggressive lightning strike that I just push out, and I imagine it just takes him in the chest while he's flying, and he'll just sort of fly back into the ocean.
Yeah.
Disappear.
You can just sort of see, obviously, Gylndan sort of crouch down, bang, this huge lightning bolt sort of erupts. Like, it's now sort of like the beginnings of a small storm all around you. So, like lightning has been going off every now and again as you've been fighting, and suddenly this lightning bolt just goes off on the ship, smashing straight through his chest. The sort of armor sort of just shatters around his chest, where he just flies back, and sort of is blasted back, his sort of lifeless body now blasting back, the wings almost sort of forming this almost like cocoon around him as he spins, this smoke sort of peering from his chest, or peering through the gaping hole now left in his chest, and you just splash into the water, and with the heavy armor, its body just floats down into the bottom. He died.
Bitch.
I want to jump in after him.
You want to jump in after him?
Yeah.
Why?
You're aware the ship is moving.
Yeah, I want to try and, drag him, grab him and stop him sinking.
Okay. He is about, I'd probably say 15 feet away from the ship. So if you imagine him, if I actually undo that, if you imagine his body is about here.
30, 35, 40. My dash, I can get to here. If no one else is taking a turn, that is.
What's your... Wait, so how are you working that out? So you were here.
Yeah, I was here. I can go 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45 gets me to here.
Your swimming speed is half of your speed, so technically that would be... But your speed is
45,
actually 7...
55, that's 45, 50, 55 feet then?
Yeah. That's actually still within realm of a dash. So that's fine. By the time you get to him, he's probably just a little bit underwater, but you can probably reach his leg. Obviously things don't, especially with these large wings and stuff.
Whatever I can of him and just try and drag him to the surface.
Yep. As you sort of leap off, you can hear the crew immediately calling out for man overboard. Immediately calling out to sort of unfurl the sails, make sure that they try not to stop. Oramis.
Oh shit.
Now that you're out of combat, make me a water vehicles check and a dexterity check for your crew.
Okay.
I was just trying to get rid of the
Oh dear.
spirit guardians because I'm getting...
Oh, sorry. Did you want me to do that? Was that for my
For
crew?
for your crew. For your crew.
Okie dokie. Ship's crew.
Okay, Oramis, you're pretty slow to spring into action for this, but the crew, with the 16 or so, the crew are pretty able to they react almost before you're sort of saying the words. They're able people themselves, so the ship probably moves, if you think in terms of you guys moving, so you guys are probably now, here, sort of in terms of the ship's speed. Before the ship manages to slow down and stop. Dokrumir, make me an athletics check, real quick.
Okay.
As this is obviously a sort of 6'5", 6'6" fiend with heavy armor. 22, yeah, you're able to sort of keep it and yourself just above the water. It's kind of tough, but you're
Can I cast any spells?
pulling. What spell would you like to cast?
I would cast guidance on myself.
Guidance on yourself. What are the components of guidance? Is it verbal, somatic?
Verbal, somatic, yes.
To do the somatic components, you would have to let go of them.
Then no spell. Can I do it with my feet under the water?
Unfortunately not, I'm afraid. Also, for those of you without dark vision, Doc has just leaped off the ship and has disappeared somewhat into darkness. You can maybe just about see him with the moonlight, but mostly he's...
I'm guessing we can still hear him.
There is a storm around. Make me a perception check.
Oh, God.
But I was just going to say, I've heard him saying about foot magic, and I'm just going to take a little notebook out and say that's a good idea.
Foot magic. Is there anything anyone would like to do at this point? The ship is now
Chug the man a rope.
Somewhat standstill. Yeah. You can throw
I don't have
a
any
rope on
rope.
the queue. The ship. There is rope on the ship. Obviously, you're on a.
Can I, with minor illusion, I don't know if I can do this. Can I use it to make a 5-foot cube of light, like a ball of light? would that work, or would it only be in the 5?
That would be
Foot
only
cube.
within the 5-foot cube. It wouldn't actually light anything around the 5-foot cube.
Cool. Okay. I can see you, Doc. Not many other people can.
I can't see him, but I'm the one that's chucked the rope. So
You've seen where he's
Just in
jumped
his
off.
general direction.
yeah,
You've got an intelligence modifier of 4. So, you've seen where he's jumped off, you know about the ship's speed, you can assume where he would be, given that. You throw him a rope. Whoever's holding the rope, make me a strength check. I'll say with advantage as the crew sort of springs into action to try and help.
Mazzy. Strength is absolutely on you.
Sure.
Mazzy's over there. You're holding the rope.
Oh, all right. Doc, don't
I'll
get
come
your
and
hopes
help.
up.
I'll
What do you
be.
want? Strength save.
I'm here.
Strength check. Strength athletics check.
That's how we're gonna roll. That's not terrible.
Alright,
Decent roll.
now Doc, roll me with that 16, now Doc roll an athletics check with advantage. To, almost like keep hold of the thing, keep hold of the rope,
Oh dear.
and keep
Oh
hold of that guy.
no.
12, I'll say, because of the sort of wind and the storm and the waves now sort of picking up a little bit, it is kind of hard to keep hold. It takes you a little while, I'll say. You're wearing light armor, so you're not going to sink. Obviously, this guy's wearing plate armor, but you're
Yeah,
held
much
onto this
better
thing.
to keep
You're
this guy up.
Yeah, so with one arm and most of your sort of body weight, you've managed to sort of wrap him and wrap your arm sort of under his wing and under his arm as well to sort of wrap yourself around him. And with the other hand, you're sort of pulling. And with the 12, you're trying to pull yourself up the rope, but you're not able to. You can keep yourself afloat on the rope, and you can feel the rope being slowly pulled in. But with a 16, I'd still say it's only slow.
Anyone
I'll say
want to help out?
obviously this is now happened.
Oh,
Mazzy, you've now
oh.
springed into action. You can move over. Make me an athletics check, Mazzy.
Athletics.
Athletics, sir.
+7. Be decent.
19. Yes, with Mazzy sort of coming over, he moves the crew sort of out of the way. Actually, with advantage, yeah, 'cause the crew are helping you. 24. So you pull yourself over and move Gylndan out of the way. Sort of leave it to the big guns. And you and the crew, you're almost directing
Yeah.
the like 1, 2, 3.
I will
heave.
lightning
1,
bolt
2,
your whole
3,
family.
heave. 1, 2, 3, heave. And after a little while, and after maybe a minute or two, Doc, you are pulled to the side of the ship. So you are now sort of like here. Any plans as to how you're going to get Doc from the side of the ship onto the ship?
Well, we
I
can
mean, we
this
keep
guy
pulling.
with the rope, yeah. But
pulling.
then he's got to hold on. That's the issue.
I've got another
That's the
rope,
thing.
which I
Doc
can-
has to hold on. So Doc, make me a. Ooh, this would probably still be an athletics check. Pulling rope.
How about-
holding yourself up?
I tie a knot in my rope and drop it down so that he can then put it underneath his arms, and I can be around there and lift him up. Him
Okay.
or the other guy.
I'm gonna
Okay.
get
Because we can
mad
then split it and
chafing.
do each. Yeah. well,
Okay. All right. Roll.
So it's not carrying 2 people on one bit of rope.
Roll me a. Oh, what would tying a rope be? Or like tying a good enough knot? I'd just say
Survival?
Dexterity?
Sleight of hand.
I'd say
good
either because I'd say survival could work because obviously tying ropes and stuff, that is all sort of part of lassos and things like that for sort of catching people. That is all part of survival. So I'd allow survival. I would say either survival or sleight of hand, but obviously you're probably going to go for survival because I'm assuming you're proficiency.
Because that is higher for me. I do the survival.
Yeah,
do it well.
you are able to make a sort of double knotted, very, very good lasso. You're even able to make a sort of like about the size of sort of Doc, so it would all perfectly fit around him. You throw it down to Doc. I'm assuming Doc, you accept the rope.
I'm just wondering how I'm going to get this around.
I'm gonna actually
while
go-
holding onto this guy.
I'm assuming you could.
Well, you're in the water, right?
Yeah.
Yes, it could. I know he's going to sink rather rapidly, but would there be enough time for you to put it around him?
I don't know, 'cause
It would probably be easier.
I've
It'd be
got
easier
one
to
hand,
put him.
like holding him. One hand is holding the rope, and and my legs are just going like this. Just desperately trying to keep both of us above the water.
It'd be easier to put it around him than put it around yourself, I think.
Yeah.
But to put it around him, you would have to
Well,
let
to be
go
fair,
of the rope.
I might have to roll for this, but what if I properly lasso him,
Oh dear.
as in the other guy, not
Okay.
not Doc? Oh, fuck off!
He's in the water, and he's unconscious, and most of his body is under the water.
Oh.
Maybe it's probably his head is above the water, so you could be able to lasso his head, thereby basically hanging him and dragging him on the back of the ship. It is already dead, so
So yeah, what's the point?
does that help?
And why don't you just try pulling me up, and I'll hold on.
Well, I was just thinking making it easier, but fine.
I don't know. I just don't know if any of it actually works. It's a good idea, but
You can try. So Doc, make me an athletics check.
come on.
A lot of athletics checks.
Oh, I shouldn't have done that with advantage. Sorry.
A 15. I'll accept a 15. Yeah, you know what? A 15. I'll say you're able to sort of hold on to the rope. It's tough, and you're sort of at your breaking point. But just as you're at your breaking point, the guys manage to grab you and almost pull you up, grab you by the shoulder, thereby meaning that you can release the rope. You grab onto the body of the Kingsguard, and the crew immediately sort of come and help as well. They're as soon as you're sort of up enough, they're sort of helping grab. It's like the wings of the Kingsguard that are sort of moving around weirdly, pulling this guy overboard, and you are now about able to be sort of overboard, just out there. What would you like to do?
Firstly, I'd like to thank everyone for not abandoning me.
I was tempted.
Can I then ask the question, why?
We owe these people. We did leave these people.
It's their job.
For the greater good, I know, but we should at least take his armor back. Maybe we should lay the body to rest somewhere else. His family probably doesn't need to see this.
Burial at sea.
Completely on board with that, but maybe not at the risk of our lives again. We'll do what we can, but we ultimately it looks like they're going to be our enemies, so we can show them respect once they're dealt with.
Indeed.
So gas to fight 7 of these things.
Yeah, well,
It's alright. Cheeky Eldritch Blast.
Yeah, keep that hot, Oramis, please.
That's spirit hot. Generally way more firepower. Anyway.
Should we take him below deck, because it's not a sailor, but I imagine it's probably not good for the superstitious to have a dead man on your deck, a dead demon.
A demon on deck.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Dead men tell no tales and all that fun stuff. Not that that really works in the situation, but whatever. So you now have the body of this ex Kingsguard fiend on your ship. You relieve him of his armor. He's thankfully wearing some sort of underclothing beneath the armor, obviously, and you place the armor sort of safely within the sort of storage units within some of the storage of the ship. As armor, once gleaming bright with the sort of hope and sort of aspirations for Ambyr. The Kingsguard are meant to be the perfect soldiers, the perfect people. Really, they are so close to the king. They're meant to be they're meant to be his image almost in sort of guardian form. But obviously, since a lot has happened, and they've now been, the armor has now been blackened, and you can tell even before all of this, something probably quite bad happened to these guys in the tower. Like, there is scratches and marks and sort of small indentations over him a fair bit. The body of this fiend is rather hulkish. It is pretty big. Most of it is stayed, human, as you're sort of looking at it, except for these horns, the sort of mottled skin, the flesh that sort of clung tight to the bones and muscle. You can see every sort of vein over his arms and things. Even in death, it's rather creepy, and sort of like the talons that have grown out of the sort of feet and hands and things like that. So you can sort of keep the body sort of stowed away. And the rest of the night passes pretty much without incident. The storm passes within the hour. Whoever would be on next watch would sort of, note that it's almost as if, like an hour or two ahead, nothing really happened. Nothing, nothing was, nothing, like nothing could have happened. None of that ordeal could have ever happened. The sea is calmed, the sort of clouds are parted, and you can once again see the beautiful sort of night sky and the stars, and a very large full moon that shines down upon you. You wake back up in the morning. Things are pretty fresh. The crew is... Oh yeah, you can also... fully rested, so you can refill spell slots, restore spell slots, restore health, all that good stuff. And the crew are now very, very suddenly aware of, the dangers of being around you guys. Those are some pretty good rolls. They're now suddenly very, very aware of sort of the dangers of being around you guys, the dangers of an adventurous life, but especially you guys who are so famed. They do begin to sort of mutter around themselves, like, is it true? Could they have said, did they just leave a Kingsguard of Ambyr to die? And it is very sort of, very somber mood. Obviously, yesterday started out so well. Make me a it's such a make me a perception check. If anyone sort of would like to overhear any of it, make a perception check. You probably don't.
Oh, do I hear?
Yeah, Gylndan,
I hear the specifics.
You hear the specific. You even catch sort of like
Jesus.
You catch like almost like. You can catch sort of the people that are the people that are doing it. You can overhear them while they're sort of hard at work. You're stood out on the ship as the sort of morning rises. You're waking up pretty early, and you can sort of see these guys sort of standing, sort of huddled. Just as they're both sort of tying off different things, they're sort of huddled together. Like, is it really? I mean, did they? Oh, are we with the right people here? Yes, of course we're with the right people, but not everyone is perfect. Yes, but Kingsguard, fucking Kingsguard. I mean, did you see what happened? We're going to die out here with these people. We're not going to die. Don't worry.
If I can hear this,
yeah.
Can I go over and just say what seems to be troubling you? Which crew member is it? That's important.
That is a very, very good point. Who is it?
Because if it's Frank, he can fuck right off.
Frank, I believe, is in his description, is a good boy. So.
Yeah, Frank is reluctant to speak out against Oramis and stuff, so it's probably not him. It's probably thinking
Frank
about
boy.
it. Caspian and Mason, I'd say.
Of course,
so
it's fucking Caspian.
The high elf, who's very, very much in it for the. Who you got the impression that he was sort of very much in all this for the riches and splendor that you guys have, apparently
He's
had.
going to be so disappointed.
And Mason, the guy who was speaking to you, not the, yesterday, almost idolized you with your spell casting ability and stuff, and he was the one who always said, he always wanted to be a wizard back in the day and things like that. Yeah, so that you can. Those are the two that are hearing. What would you like to do?
I'll just say, what seems to be troubling you two?
Uh,
Couldn't help but over here.
Mason is immediately like, nothing, nothing. Just sort of recovering from last night. Caspian is
pretty rough.
silent. Caspian is silent. He's Caspian was the one, asking like, are we with the right people? Is this, is this really what was? Is this really right? Whereas Mason is sort of very much like, yes, we're with the right people. So Caspian is just dead silent. Whereas Mason's like, yeah, it was more than we were expecting. I guess I could say.
Sort of
not what we were expecting.
Sensing that Caspian isn't very happy, and having a rough idea about why, I'm just going to sort of look at him and say, we have made some hard choices, and there'll be some more hard choices to make. If you don't have the stomach for that, then I suggest you get off next stop.
What gets off now?
But that's not an option, is it?
He doesn't turn round, but he sort of like solemnly nods, sort of like realizing, yeah, I'm not on a merchant ship anymore. This isn't just like any old crew. I need to pull my finger out. Buck up a little bit.
Buck up your ideas, buddy.
Yeah. So he stays sort of solemnly silent, but you can sort of see him nodding, sort of like in sort of understanding, like, yeah. I mean, you did obviously save everything and everyone, and I'm sure there was probably a reason for it.
Yeah. And then I'm just going to misty step away. No, I'm joking.
They continue with their work, and by the morning, you're all up, you're all ready. And with the thunderstorm last night, it very clearly wasn't natural, and you would probably all know, especially Gylndan, that obviously things that mess with the weather, magic that messes with the weather can often have repercussions. Not always bad, most often than not bad. You've heard sort of tales of druids messing with the weather and making it rain, and then having like a rainbow that lasts like for a month. Even in rain, shine, everything, like the rainbow will just always be there. You've heard of sort of people making it really, really sunny, and the heat of the sun remaining even after the sun has dissipated and it's gotten a little bit colder. So this morning, it is all of a sudden, like without even sort of realizing, it's become very, very foggy. Very, very foggy all around you, and it's quite hard to sort of see, and especially as the past couple of days, it hasn't been the best weather ever. It's a little bit sort of cloudy overhead as well, to the point where you're not really sure where the sun is. You're veering in a direction, but you're not entirely sure what direction. As I believe the two people to sort of do their to do the rest of their shifts were Doc and Gylndan. The two who incidentally failed their survival checks. So, being very sort of unaware of what was sort of going on with the very unaware of what was going on, sort of trusting the crew to sort of guide you. But even the crew, they were pretty shaken. You were in a storm, in a fight, so they were, mainly just trying to keep the boat stable. They weren't trying to do anything fancy. So God knows what direction you guys are heading in. It's a very thick fog. You can see about like 60 to maybe 80 feet off from the boat. Obviously there's nothing, there's no land. Looking up, you can't see the sun. Fog again, but also cloud above you. But it is light. Almost this sort of pinkish hue, as it's still sort of the morning. It's almost like a mix of this strange fog and the morning mist sort of mixing together. What would you like to do?
Can I retire to the captain's quarters and try and make a divination reading?
Yes, of course you can. What would you like to make a
I
reading
got quite
on?
heavily punished for going to the captain's quarters once.
That's because you took something without asking.
What did you take?
What did I take?
I think it was
Didn't you
just a bit of rope.
Yeah, you just.
Oh no!
That was it.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the bench so you could arm wrestle.
Priorities.
But theft
I don't-
will not be tolerated.
I don't have the description, Ben, so what do you want me to roll? Also, I'm using up 25 gold's worth of incense.
Yeah, that's cool.
So expensive.
So
The DC 30. It's just a D20 to roll, and it was.
I'll get the divination spell D&D. If just in case there was anything sort of extra on it. But no, so I believe it was 10 plus spell level minus proficiency, so that's 10 plus
3.
No, 12. No, it's 12. Sorry, so 12 plus 3
plus 4. Sorry, it's dividend. Yeah,
plus 4, which is 16 minus your proficiency, which is obviously 3. So that's 13. Yeah, so DC 13 Wisdom saving throw to be able to cast it. And I will just copy and paste the thing of divination into this spell, just so that you.
Oh, for goodness sake!
I'm assuming you failed.
Yeah, I got 11.
Oh.
That's how you throw 25 gold down the toilet.
See, this is where some of those divination rolls you had would have come in handy, wouldn't it?
Well, so we've had this before, and using a divination roll to make a divination reading didn't seem quite right, did it?
There's some things you can't use divination on.
I would personally allow it.
Oh,
I'm going to not do it
I definitely would
because I don't feel like it. You can't predict.
I'm going to use my
something.
ability to see the future really well.
It's almost like, you sort of innately sort of. Obviously, the point of divination is you're sitting down to try and see the future. You're asking a question about the future, and therefore, sort of trying to sort of mentally navigate the arcane sort of energy that allows you to do this. It's almost like seeing how you would do that beforehand, or how you would slightly better do that beforehand. So I would allow it. But if you're not going to do it, that's fine. You sit down. You
can't see anything with all this fog.
And yeah, you're sort of last night is still sort of playing on your mind a little bit. You aren't able to clear your mind just as you would like, and therefore you can't see anything. You are able to try this again tomorrow.
Have we got a compass on this boat?
You have navigation tools, so you have a. So you have.
Can I use my navigation tools?
You can make me a straight intelligence check.
Intelligence. I cannot see it.
It's literally just on the skills, so strength, charisma, sort of that thing, and then just click intelligence.
It's obviously not very high.
No.
You're looking at the compass, and it's sort of you're not quite sure how to. It's a very, very old compass, and it's been through hell. The thing was the place was raided, so maybe it's got a little crack in it. You're not quite able to sort of figure out what the hell a lot of it means. You're looking through these maps, and you're like, well, okay, there's the coast there, and here's the water, and we can see water, which is handy. Well, the sun is obviously we can't see the sun. This is unfortunate.
Right.
You know that obviously this fog won't last forever. You could wait it out if you wanted to, but Lord knows how long that could take.
Can I? This is probably ridiculous. Can I cast Thunderwave from the top of the boat and try and clear some fog in a 15-foot cube ahead of me?
You can. Yeah. Are you going to do that? Yeah.
Judging by the look on your face, no.
Metagaming a little bit, but it's up to you.
But
up to you what you do.
Okay. I'm going to try and see the sun so I can get an idea of.
Yep. So you hop up onto the mast. Mast being about 60 feet, sort of tall. You sort of get up, cast Thunderwave, and nothing happens. You can see this sort of fog, sort of around you, but that doesn't help with the fog that is much higher, nor can you see through the cloud or anything like that. So you're not really able to sort of see much, I'm afraid.
Can I take a long rest then, so I get that spell slot back?
You just need to take a short
I mean,
rest.
you could take a short rest to get.
Alright, I'll take a short rest. That was a long climb up that mast. I'm leaving the boys in charge while I go have a nap.
Alright, so Oramis sort of goes back to his cow and sits for a minute, not really up to much. Anything anyone else would like to do? Any ideas?
For the fog.
Yeah, you can obviously just wait it out, but that might drift you slightly off course and might obviously have repercussions. But
Were you
you don't have
feeling
any ideas.
it's not particularly natural? We're feeling like it's quite induced. I don't know how you feel that.
The vibes, man, the vibes.
Yeah, I guess kind of like. I don't know, because
Sort of like-
Oramis, you're a sailor. You know that weather doesn't just come on like that necessarily. There's kind of a build up.
Doesn't. You're very right, Professor Gylndan.
Oh, we're doing formalities, are we, Captain Oramis?
Dwarf.
Yeah.
That was the doc as he walked by. Doesn't have a title, does he?
Cleric?
That's not really a title on the seas, though. Doesn't mean anything.
Doc.
Oh, fair enough.
That's your
Disciple.
name. That's just your name.
No, my name is Dokrumir. I am a...
Oh, is that what your
Doc,
name is?
Doctor Doc.
You're Doc.
Yes.
What's up, Doc?
Oh, yeah. Can I make a Arcana check? See if this fog feels like normal fog.
Yeah. I mean, I've literally already told you that. Obviously, this is just
I don't know what to
of-
do.
Like I said, you can just wait it out if you would like.
Yeah, that might be our only option. We don't have anything that can affect the weather.
No.
Who had that bloody storm spell, or was that someone that's not in this party anymore?
I have no
Storm
idea what
spell.
Storm spell you're talking about.
I think that was Barzanor. Let me check.
Someone had like a whirlwind. No, like a whirlwind. Was that
Oh
you?
no, it was-
Oh,
No.
Mittens has warding wind.
Yeah. Okay. Well, that's useless.
Yeah. It just makes like a tornado around him within 10 feet of him, so...
If you were to wait out the storm, someone roll me 3d4.
Luke.
Okay. I don't know why, but
You're
okay. Correct. That is very spot on accurate. Do you want them rolled individually or just
No,
3d4?
just all together is fine. Yeah.
Perfect.
So about 5 hours pass, and fog eventually does slowly at first, but after about half an hour, it sort of fully dissipates. And roll me a d20. So regular old
Baby
d20.
Jesus.
Oh God.
Is that good or is that bad?
You guys, you can't
lost.
really see. You can see the coast of Ambyr, fucking far away.
It can't be that far away if we can see
like-
it.
Like,
Well, if we can see it, at least we know where to go.
Yeah.
yeah. And because of where you guys are, so if I take you back to the map, because of obviously where you now are. So if you think you guys are around sort of maybe now here, there are no sort of signs of, oh, I can see sort of the thing of this. Obviously, you have a telescope. That's what you would be able to see the coast of Ambyr through. That's what I'm sort of talking about.
Okay.
I think you're
And
going
you're like,
south,
oh yeah,
can't we?
I can see cliffs. I can't see what cliffs they are, but you know they're on your east side, so you should be heading south. But I say you're around
Unless-
here, you're actually more like out here. So this will add a little while onto your trip as well.
Unless the fog was
What?
something from Tiamat that shoved us into a mirror world.
Oh my god.
And Ben, if you've done that, fair enough.
Things are a little bit different in Amber than in the real world. Because the view distance on the horizon at sea level is something like only 3 miles.
Oh, is it?
Well, actually, JJ, that's just ridiculous because the waves make you go up so you can see further.
Oh, so the land is like bobbing in and out of sight as we rise.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, upon knowing that, then you can't see the coast.
Can we
But
see
you-
birds?
That's a very, very good point. You can see birds somewhere around you. Yes, you can. Looking through the sort of telescope either side to your east, you can see sort of birds flocking around somewhere. Probably a lot of seagulls and stuff.
But so
That's
can
fine.
we not see the
Or-
coast anymore?
You can't see the coast now.
Oh, so we're really a bit lost.
Only like 3 miles apparently.
No, we can't see the coast anymore.
Well, we can see birds, and birds wouldn't fly too far from land. Well, they
Right.
could because some of them fly over the sea, but
What's the other continent called, Ben? Titan? Gas to
Titan?
end up there.
That would, I mean, if you ended up on Titan, you'd be. That's like 3 months journey. Like, or
What?
no, like a month's journey. You know, you'd be really fucking.
Which one is it, Ben? 3 or 1?
One.
what's west of Westeros? We're about to find out.
Should we just end the campaign there? That's quite a good ending, isn't it?
Abandoned at sea. The end. No. So obviously seeing birds to the east. What would you like to do? Let's speed things up a bit.
I'd like to turn back to land. Aim towards the birds.
Aim towards the birds.
I'm
Well,
guessing if
luckily
the
with
sun's
your
out, then Oramis knows how to navigate via the sun and things.
It's cloudy.
it is still a little bit cloudy, but I'd probably say even through not necessarily even through cloud, you can often still see where the sun's coming from. But obviously through cloud
correct.
and fog, you wouldn't be able to. So yeah, I'd be able to say you'd probably be able to see just about where the sun's coming from.
Well, while we're trying to get back to land, can I teach the guys a bit more about sailing? Because I think they only had 1 lesson last time.
Yeah. So you sort of command your crew, and off
Got to
you
get them comp crew certified.
You command your crew, and off you go. And a couple of hours pass. They're pretty boring hours compared to what you guys are used to, especially the last week of your lives. Oramis obviously just going on and on about sort of what knots are to be tied where to unfurl the sails and furl the sails. He's mainly going on about different aspects of sort of speeding up and slowing down today. And yes, he does talk to you a little bit about obviously knots and things like that. And by the time you get back to land, you're probably around here. So you can now sort of see land. And heading south, you can't quite see Kriggan or the Bay of Kriggan yet, as it begins to get dark. But with a couple more hours, you would probably be able to see Kriggan. Is there anything anyone would like to do at this point?
How late is it?
Kriggan? By now, it's probably around 8 o'clock in the evening. It has been it's been a very boring day. Nothing really has happened, unless you guys want to make anything happen. Has anyone done anything particularly interesting in the day? Or
10 gold, I can jump higher than
Yeah, go on. I'll take you up on that. Go on.
than Dokrumir.
Okay.
You're going to wait for a wave to come so you can sort of launch yourself off.
Right, who's jumping what?
oh lord, when have we
What?
gone to jumping competitions? What is this?
Ben, it's your world. You should
What-
know it's a big thing in Amber.
Huge.
Yes. Yes, the opposite limbo. It's called.
Exactly.
I think they do it in Kenya, and they jump stupid heights in Kenya. Like these tribes people.
Yeah, they do like what looks like an Olympic high jump, and they don't even like go backwards over it. They just like tap their knees and just spring.
Yeah, it's impressive.
Jesus.
That's what's going on the deck.
Well, it depends. Roll athletics.
Okay. I will.
Oh fuck!
Oh.
+9 in athletics.
Maybe.
This is bullshit.
Sorry, there's no way you got +9 in athletics. That doesn't make sense to me. Is it still saying your level? No.
Ben,
Oh,
stop
I guess. No, I guess.
messing my stats, man.
Wait,
No.
how's he getting the 9? Proficiency bonus 3.
Proficiency bonus 3, strength 3, and double proficiency bonus because of expertise.
Oh, nice. Well,
Give me
good
my
job.
10 gold.
The crew once again confused by these guys. Doc.
Sure. We're doing
Oh.
what?
I forgot how we did. I
saves?
forgot how we. Yeah, I forgot how we did
We did best of
arm
3 on the
wrestles.
arm wrestle.
Yes, yeah, best
is
of
it
3.
just
All right,
straight-
it's
straight strength?
just straight strength.
Yeah.
Counter
So-
seven. Oh,
Oh no!
1 0.
Ah,
No, you reversed it then.
1 to Oramis.
I'm just gonna say that I think I've seen Doc practicing this, and he just doesn't do very well.
Why
I'm not
would
gonna
you do this to me?
I'm not gonna get. I'm not gonna get a chance to use my 1 elf.
You don't know, we've done an hour and a half.
I'd like to see Oramis win 20 gold.
Come on. Hand it over.
So that 19 doesn't count. It's a 1.
That's 2 in a row.
Oramis. Yeah, that's 2. That is 2 in a row. It's best of 3. Oramis wins.
Hand it over.
Hollow victory.
Somewhat hollow victory.
I'll take it how it comes.
In coffers, I imagine.
Just give Gylndan a little wink.
I expect the return on that later.
Slip him a gold piece.
I'll take it.
So,
Sleight
what
of
are you?
hand.
So, to get on with this, move this on a little bit. What are you guys doing? Are you going to continue on till Kriggan, or are you just going to go to bed like now, like just about outside of it? You think, but tomorrow you'll make it to the capital by the end of the day.
I don't see the point in stopping in Kriggan, but if anyone wants to,
Let's power through.
Investigate more about the leaf.
I think we've committed to our course of action. I think also that having that fighting that thing is like a sign that perhaps it's getting quite bad now, so we need to go and deal with it. I think.
Alright.
Yeah.
So we'll sleep on the boat, Ben. I think, and then just crack on.
You power on outside Kriggan. You sort of like your boat sort of comes to a half standstill. Obviously now this skeleton crew commanding the boat, just about out here, within sight of the Bay of Kriggan, and also within rather far sight of the Chromatic Cliffs just over here, and the Bay of the capital. Who is on first watch for the evening?
I'll take it if no one else wants it.
Absolutely.
Be my guest.
What do you want, Ben? Perception?
Perception and D12. Well, D12 first and then perception. Okay. Perception? Nothing really. Your shift passes without incident. Who's up next?
I'll
Oh,
go.
my next. Oh.
I'll wrestle for it.
You
do you want-
you can go.
Do you want the D12 as well?
D12 and a perception check. And perception. Yeah, so on your shift, you're sort of you're sitting back after like a quick little nap. You're sort of up again to your watch. You're sitting there, and you're looking out. Especially after last night, you're now being very, very wary. Obviously, anything can come in the night, and in the distance, you see something glow beneath the waves.
What an eventful journey this.
Something sort of shifting and moving in your direction, I might add. It sort of slithers and moves underneath, quite rapid from the east, so from sort of outside your vision.
Oh no!
What would you like to do?
Can I ring the bell and awaken the crew?
Yep. You run to the mast, immediately ring the bell. The crew is suddenly lively and awake. Oh fuck! Not this again! Darting up. Chikara stirs as she's somewhat.
She's on the
boat. Fiend's dead on the boat. Doesn't matter. And all the guys are sort of up. They make it to the deck of the ship by the time this thing is maybe like 100 meters out. Continues.
Is it just going underneath
towards the boat? No, it's still coming towards the boat. It looks like this very, very long, weirdly glowing thing. Really sort of rather strange.
Have we got like lights on the boat and stuff?
You do, yeah. So you'd have a lantern on the mast.
So I just shout, cut the lights.
Yeah. You cut the you.
I believe Thelma says you can do that.
Yeah.
Oh no, it can't snuff out. Oh yeah, core flame. I can make them dim. No, I can't cut them out. Never mind.
Free to do it.
That's fine. One of the crew just sort of goes over and has a small pail of water and just sort of chucks it over. The flames diminish. You are left in this darkness. The glow getting stronger and stronger and slowly, lighting up the boat. It looks really quite beautiful, weirdly. And as it sort of gets closer, you can see it's not the whole creature that glows, but it's like its long sort of fins and its long tail glows and moves towards you very, very slowly and suddenly. Anything you'd like to do?
I'd just watch it.
Yeah.
Let it pass. Can I? No, we're not in initiative. Yeah, just watch it. Keep an eye on it. If it's just passing us by, then admire the beauty. But kind of have one hand ready on the hilt of my sword or some shit.
Yeah, you watch as this thing moves closer and closer. It gets larger. It seems like it was pretty deep within the water. It's slowly getting larger, and suddenly you can see these two smaller glowing spheres within the water. These eyes beginning to peer up, and then it's very, very suddenly just the glow dims as it seems to be dragged sort of underneath the waves. And this is probably about 20, somewhere between like 20 and 30 meters out, and it sort of disappears under the waves. And then suddenly rising from the waves is a huge hulking figure, this giant figure with this huge sort of white beard, these sort of like these very, very basic sort of leather or remains of sort of leather and cloth padding over it, sort of coral growing on its arms and things, rises from the deep, lifting this giant creature on its arms, holds it over its shoulder. You can now see this pike, this large wooden pike, like the remains of a mast of a ship, driven into the thing's neck, lugs it on its shoulder, and stares down at you. The waves sort of coalesce around, actually moving the ship, sort of make the ship wave and bend overwards, and it just stares at you, the glow dissipating from the fish.
Can I make a?
to Oramis and just say, what fish is this?
Can I make a nature check, arcana check, some kind of check to figure out what the hell all of this is?
I can save you some time. It's the Kraken.
This long, like eel-like creature.
So this huge hulking humanoid figure burst out the water with this, like the remains of a mast already impaled on this giant serpent-like creature. And he just like lugs it up on its shoulder and he just stares down at the lot of you.
Yeah, can I like make some?
Make me a nature check.
Nature. Oh no. Oh no.
You know he's big. You could almost say he's giant. But that's about as far as you are away.
Is there
Fuck, he's
some
big.
sort of magic coming from it?
Like, make a nature check.
Yeah. As many.
Is it magical?
Oh, hey, that's not better.
Is what magical? Him or
Yeah, like well, obviously there's got to be some sort of magical property if he just bursts out of the water and he's sort of hovering there.
I think I found my sea legs, Ben.
You have eventually found your sea legs, Mazzy, sort of looking at it, and you're looking at him and looking him up and down, and you recall tales of, well, first for the serpent, you recall obviously tales of, you've heard of sort of glowing fish before, you know, sailors and members of the Navy, sort of when you and Mazzy first joined up, telling tales of sort of glowing fish, and it at first made you think, oh wow, you know, wouldn't it be great to be in the Navy and see all that stuff? Then you're like, but the Army's cooler. Drop the soap as much. And looking then sort of at the huge sort of hulking figure, you're like, this storm giants. The white beard, the glowing blue eyes. Yeah. They're meant to be giants who like live in the sea, right? You're sort of
How could you not know these guys?
Sorry.
Duh.
I don't think this is a normal encounter, is it?
The giant looks down at you, still with this thumb in its shoulder, sort of. Turns around and begins to walk away, wading through the water. Again, sort of like waves rippling around, sort of even moving quite the big boat that you have, sort of slightly moving it away, and he slowly disappears under the ocean.
Were you just baiting me to fire a cannon at it, Ben? Is that what you're doing?
Maybe.
Would Mazzy have known if that was the same creature that took that kid, or not? Sacrifice.
You can't tell the difference between a regular humanoid and a giant.
No.
I'm concerned.
I swear it was like
No, the thing
like
that,
a sea
the thing that
creature or
took
something.
the thing that took the child was it looked like a human. As far as I remember, you rolled something mediumly high, so you know it looked like a person, a very very old person with a bald head in these sort of greenish robes. Sort of just walked up from the water, grabbed the child. Well, was given the child rather, and then walked back into the water.
Fun. Okay. Thank you.
And after that, the night seems to pass pretty smoothly. You wake up the next day, the weather, for once, finally being decently fine. There are a couple of clouds in the sky, and it's still a bit sort of you get that sort of autumn chill, autumn breeze pass over you, but otherwise, you are able to continue your sailing.
That's a good time for a break.
Yeah, it's a pretty good time for a break. And when we come back, you can appear within the capital, as you rolled pretty damn well on your checks. You only got 2 fails, so that was pretty much all. Tell us when, JJ. Cool, we're back. Back, swinging into action. On the third day, it is pretty quiet. Nothing really strikes you. Obviously, Oramis and his crew passed with flying colours with the checks you did. So you managed to avoid the sort of chromatic cliffs. You know this time to stay very far away from the chromatic cliffs and the rocks and stuff. And you're able to make it into Capital Bay. And by the time you make it into Capital Bay, you know, there are lots of other merchant ships around. It's sort of sundown as you sort of come into the bay. So it's sundown when you get to about here. And then by the time you get into the capital, it's like fully nighttime. But still that sort of darkness where still people are sort of at the tavern, walking around, going from place to place, maybe going to and from people's houses and things like that. Although it seems like now security has gone up. Not a lot, but you know there weren't that many soldiers by the docks the last time you guys were here. There also weren't that many sort of ships outside the docks. In and around the city, you don't remember a lot of rooftops having catapults on them or trebuchets or sort of ballistas, but a few of them do now, and it's somewhat concerning. I'll take you back over to the capital map. So, you arrive, you sort of dock your boat up, back sort of over here. What would you like to do?
Do we want to get any supplies before we head to the tower? So I think one thing, if we're going to be fighting fiends, I think we had a bit earlier where people bought silvered weapons, but has everyone got a silvered weapon?
I mean,
well, how do
I've got one, I don't know how to use it.
I don't have silver weapon, but I have magic.
My magic's good for most things, to be honest, but I think if we run out of magic, I feel like we're going to be tested quite a bit in this tower, so it might be that we run out of spell slots.
Is there a way, Ben?
I've got cantrips, so like Eldritch Blast, I can just...
That's true, yeah, that's true.
No, okay.
Yeah, some
You got a map?
attacking
Yeah.
cantrips.
I've got one.
Have you now?
Yeah, I've used it,
Oh, good.
if you'd care to remember.
Well, I don't know
Against the
something about
sea-
cantrips and witch arm.
Against sea spawn, mind sliver.
Well remembered, Ben.
Indeed. I remember these things because nothing else is going on in my life.
Oh, that's...
I mean, you have spells. I don't do that. Yeah.
You do have quite a lot of spells. I was surprised you also now have, you now have lightning bolt and stuff. I remember.
I'll pick up 2 per level.
Oh damn! Okay. I remember logging on and seeing that you'd clearly tested out lightning bolt, and I was like, "Oh, that's happening now." Okay. Yeah, very, very interesting. Obviously, it's
time.
no, not at this time. It's like 8 o'clock in the evening. It's very, very late. You can see a lot of people sort of walking home from work and things like that. There is the tavern that you guys frequent, as well as a couple of other local haunts and places to go to, drink and eat and sleep and whatever. What do you want to do? And obviously the library's open if you wanted to look into that.
Do we want to... I mean, we know a lot about him. It's just about what we're going to face in these trials. But I don't think there'll be anything on that book-wise.
I don't feel anyone's pissed off the gods as we have and lived to write about it.
No. Do we want to try and, if we stay over and then maybe try and see, was it General Ivan or Councilman Ivan?
Councilman Ivan, yes.
Maybe see if we can head up with some reinforcements or something, because the journey there might be tough enough.
Yeah.
But I don't know what other people want to do.
I'm easy. I don't mind.
Do we want to get a big bomb to blow up the tower?
I
No.
mean, that's never a bad idea.
Hmm.
Somehow I feel like a big bomb won't cut it this time.
Yeah.
It is.
We only know
fucking
everyone does it if we
giant.
try it.
Well, Leslie, you can be in charge of Big Bomb.
That is true. So what are your plans for this evening then? Obviously, shops shut, things like that. Are you
Check into the
staying-
Westland? What was it called?
Yes, the Western Tavern.
Do you not find the boat comfy enough?
No.
Oh,
Actually, I do. It's quite a nice boat, but having been at sea for a couple of days and having some fairly traumatic experiences, I'm going to go into an inn if that's all right.
Obviously,
I actually like to sleep on a steady bed.
Staying at an inn,
Exactly.
paying for accommodation overnight, for a meal and a place to sleep. You can roll temporary hit points for the next day. So,
temporary hit points.
That might be the difference between life and death.
Nice.
I think Doc's going to look for another temple.
Is that the hit dice?
no, the temporary hit points is just hit points you can add on to your regular hit points. But there should be a little thing beneath HP, which is temporary HP, and it basically lasts until you take a short rest. Long
Yeah, but
rest.
it's not the
long
roll.
rest.
Oh, Ben, I know.
Yeah, you roll a d4. A d4 for
Right.
if you get a meal, you roll a d4, and if you get a sleep in a nice place, you roll another d4. So that's 2d4.
So-
Let's have a meal and sleep.
Yeah. So you head over to the Dokrumir. We'll go to your temple in a second. You head over to the Western Tavern. The dwarf patron who's there recognizes you all. Tells you that things have stepped up quite a bit. But he also sort of hears rumors that there was a wizard and a sailor and some other guys apparently helped Northgard. Northgard's like free now. Oh my god, that's amazing. And he's feeling quite happy about that. He lets you have rooms. That's 3 gold for a room for 1 night and a meal.
How much is this charge for Chikara?
Charge for to have Chikara stay overnight is 2 gold. For her to have some sort of basic like straw and some like fruit and vegetables and sort of mulch, as well as just sort of a basic hay bed. She seems very, very happy to sort of be off the boat as soon as she sort of. You can even see as she sort of like steps onto the. Well, firstly, when she steps onto the docks, the few people that are still left on the docks are like, "Oh my god, they got an elephant on there! What? Oh my god, these guys are serious." And you can see Chikara's legs sort of wobbling a little bit. She hasn't walked around in like 3 days, and she's sort of been stuck underneath the ship. Legs are wobbling a little bit, but she soon sort of regains a bit of balance. And she
with this body that we've got.
I don't know who got it out of the ocean.
I'll handle it.
Ben, while we're in the inn, I'm trying another divination reading.
Yep, sure. Roll me a wisdom save. DC 13.
For the love of God. Please. I just can't quite get it.
Again, yeah,
Take your time.
you're trying to ready yourself for the tower and for things like that, and you're just not. You just can't bring yourself. To it. It's been quite a rough couple of days. You're still you're tired. You're just ready for bed at this point. Ready for a sturdy bed as well.
Can I,
Just to go to the other guys and say, well, we're getting blind tomorrow.
can I not that it makes much difference, but can I seek out a 7th crew member who we already have, but for continuity purposes, can I pick them up here?
You can, yes. Make me. So you're sort of in the local tavern. Yes, you can. Think of a name of this new crew member, and I'll be back. I just need to go to the toilet.
Already
I just
sent.
need to pee.
Already sent it.
Already sent it. What's the name?
At the start of the thing.
Oh, at the start of the thing.
Buccaneer.
Oh, Bognir. I thought that was the name of the 7th one that you currently have. Cause
Oh no, we had 6. And we were going to have 7, but I'm saying we sailed down with 6 and picking up a 7th.
Okay. Okay, cool. I'm just going to be literally 2 seconds. I just need the toilet. I will be right back. Sorry, should have done this in the break.
You got to say that name, by the way, with a French accent. Yeah, Borkenia. That's Hattie's. An elf.
An elf.
Yes.
French elf.
Are you meeting your diversity quota in your crew?
Well, we haven't got any dwarves, so.
No.
Probably for the best.
Yeah, they just tend to sink like a rock. In my experience.
I can't think of any like game or book world or anything where dwarves are good on the water.
No.
I mean, I think it's just a trope at this point. I think it'd be really interesting to just turn, if you had a series that turned everything on its head, and elves were, these like gruff and hairy people. And then
Many
the
apologies.
dwarves were like the nature-loving wood folk.
Many apologies. You'll forgive me. I had a takeaway for dinner.
That's
Yes,
too
it was
much.
curry. Anyway, so roll. So you're in the sort of local tavern. It is a weeknight, so you could probably assume a lot of sales there. Roll me a general. How are you trying to recruit people? How would you sort of try and recruit people around?
I'd just be, perusing the bar, talking to everyone, and if I come across anyone that seems nice, I'd be like, hey, do you want a job? Do you want to see the world, get out of this shithole, and come travelling?
Okay.
Hello Adventure, you may have heard of me.
Roll me
to get women into bed.
Roll me a charisma check, but I'll allow you to add your proficiency bonus. Because of your proficiency with water vehicles, you obviously have a boat. You know what you're talking about when talking about this kind of thing. Didn't even need it. All right. Yeah, you can. You're walking around and you see this sort of group of lads in the corner of the Westland. One of them seems quite bemused. He's sort of a little bit down. The rest are like, "Oh, don't worry, buddy. Something will come." And it appears as if the merchant's ship that they were just on, that sailed from here to Blackwind and back, he had been sort of hired. They'd hired someone else over him, mainly because it was the captain's friend. So the captain was like, "Well, I don't have enough money to keep all of you here, and my mate needs a job. So, sorry, Bo, you're gonna have to go. See you later." At which point, he's pretty pissed off, but that's the way it can be sometimes. So overhearing you come along, he's just somewhat intrigued. Now roll me a persuasion check.
Do I need to bother? Oh, hello.
13.
He is mortal.
He's interested, but he's going to ask for 20 gold up front.
20 gold? Pretty sure I didn't pay 20 gold for the whole rest of the crew.
You paid 60 for the rest of the crew.
Oh, okay. So
The difference here is, Luke, this is your girlfriend's character, and you definitely can't not accept it.
Oh.
Well played, Ben. Well played.
Gold could get us such a valuable crew member.
Can I roll a gold piece across my knuckles and say, how about 15? There'll be plenty more where that came from along the road.
All right, roll another persuasion check.
I'm going to that's a sleight of hand check to see how well it goes.
Actually, yeah. First roll the sleight of hand check,
Okay.
and then roll the persuasion.
Cool it looks.
Probably not very. Oh,
very
that's so cool.
Very cool. You are you're flicking it between your fingers, and on the pinky you manage to sort of flick it up, and you catch it in the other pinky, and you're able to go again.
Oh.
Now roll persuasion.
You amazing sleight of hand to
I'll
balls
give
it
you
up,
a-
or not.
I was going to give you a +1 because of the sleight of hand check, but you know what? Yeah, he's like, he seems pretty happy. He's like, all right, cool. Where do I go? What do I do? Do I have to sign anything? No, good. All right, 15 gold, please. So take 15 gold off, and he will join your crew. Yeah.
I feel like we should get all of the crew to sign disclaimers that we are not liable for any accidents caused whilst travelling with us.
Yes.
That all comes out of the captain's pocket, so.
I'd like to think that the job advert Oramis put out is like the most basic thing. It really doesn't cover what we're going to do at all. light bit of sailing, possibly 2 days a week, maybe more.
Like sun, sea, sand, and
Sun, sea, sand, and swords. I kind of like that. Anyway, so yep, you've done that, and you can all, if you've spent your 3 gold, you can go to sleep, refill spell slots, refill health, roll divination rolls, and roll 2d4 each, and add whatever your roll was as temporary hit points. Doc, were you still going to go to that temple, or?
Yeah. Is there any? Remind me of the religious side of things. Is there any like one god who deals in death and things like that?
God that deals in death, probably Erebus, Lord of the Lord of the Nine Hells. He is very much, about death, about sort of. He would be who you would pray to for, if you're a grave or death cleric.
Does he have like temples and things like that, and like acolytes and?
He does have a temple. It's a rather small temple. Sort of right the way, sort of over in the corner over here. It's very clearly been sort of shunted off to the side a little bit, given everything that's happened. His acolytes wear these sort of long, very very basic long black robes, but they've all shaved their heads in sort of appreciation for their god. Is what they sort of believe in. Okay. Even the women as well. They're all shaven. They're all equal in the eyes of Erebus. We all die. We shall all either go to Celestia, heaven, or the Nine Hells after we die. We're all equal in his eyes.
This god of the Nine Hells, is he trying to keep Tiamat in the bottom layer of hell, or is he working with her?
If you remember reading from the thing, it seemed like, so when Tiamat was raising an army, so, obviously, first time, she got sent to hell, before the 9th layer of hell was created for her. She was sent to hell, but she was sort of gathering forces and making a sort of army, and Erebus was a little bit jealous of her, sort of, he was losing popularity, and she was gaining it, as Erebus is all about, sort of, what goes to hell stays in hell. If you sort of think a little bit like if you think a little bit like Hades, in the sense that he knows he didn't choose this job, he respects his job, and therefore he's almost like I know hell is seen as a bad thing, but it's not always. There needs to be a place for bad things to go when they die, or if they are banished or whatever. And unfortunately, I lost the pick of the draw. That's my domain. Fine, cool. I will live with that. Somewhat. So he is known to be sort of devious in some aspects. But yes, you can wander over. So as the rest of the guys sort of go to bed, you can wander over somewhere up here and go to the temple. A acolyte of Erebus sort of greets you like, hello, dwarf. It is very early hours of the morning by now. What brings you here?
I encountered something on my travels that seems to lie within your realm of responsibility. My companions and I were attacked by a creature that seems to be wearing Kingsguard's armor. We overcame the attack. However, it was my desire to see this. We suspect a former Kingsguard turned by some source, laid to rest properly.
Yes, we've all heard the rumours of Kingsguard venturing within and being turned. The rumours, it seems, were true. They were turned into fiends or similar things that have come from this dreadful tower. Yes, we can. If you don't, I can gather some of my acolytes, and they can go forth. We can collect the body of this fiend.
Discretion might be the best way to proceed.
Yes.
Have you got any form of covered card?
Yes, of course, yes. For a noble warrior such as a Kingsguard, even with his current form, yes, we will collect him in a fine cart. And he clicks his hands, and a couple of the other acolytes sort of run around back, and after a couple of minutes bring out this cart with this large black horse sort of riding it. The cart is sort of ashen black, and it has a basic sort of dark greyish cover over, and it seems like they're almost like slats, so you would obviously place the body on a slat outside, and you would sort of push it within, not just sort of thrown on the cart, like you would see like regular bodies and stuff. Very ceremonial. I'm assuming you let him know. We won't go over the formalities. Yeah. So you walk back to the ship. Obviously, walking back over the bridge. You walk back to the ship. They go in. The crew seem a little confused at first why Doc is leading a bunch of bold men and women over to the thing, but then like, that makes sense, right? And they bring out the fiend, and as they walk, these acolytes sort of walk around the body as they're sort of dragging it out, so that most people can't see it. They place it in the cart, and they take it back to their quarters to be sort of prepared for, given their sort of final rites and things like that before passing on. Excellent. The head acolyte that you talk to says thank you, and sort of very, very quickly hurries off, realizing that this is a matter of rather large importance. This was a important person, so he has a lot to prepare. Anything else you'd like to do?
Nah, probably just crash in the temple at this point.
Cool. You crash in the temple. You wake up. You all meet up together. It is bright and early in this next morning. I say bright, it's kind of dark, it's a bit overcast. The winds are high from the sea. A cold chill sweeps over the land, almost as if the land knows the sort of treacherous path you're about to take.
Ben,
yes.
Before we all meet up, I would have gone to the college and left a note, or a letter with Rast.
What does the letter say?
I'll get back to him.
Cool. As in, you've gone to Rast and spoken to him?
Yeah, I've just dropped it off with him, and it's for Moraine.
Oh, okay, cool. So you head back into the college. Rast greets you very, very nicely. Leave a letter. Do you tell him where you're going?
I will. Yeah, although we're colleagues, we're also kind of good friends. So yes, I'd tell him we're going to the tower.
He is immediately consented. Like, why would you go to the tower? Have you heard that only the guardians or whatever can go to the tower, can complete the tower? Even the damn Kingsguard were murdered.
I'm just going to show him. I mean, the ring doesn't. Yeah, I'm going to show him the ring on my finger, the dragon ring that Oramis got us.
Nice.
And just say, I don't quite know how it happened, Rast, but I am a guardian.
Well, that rather unexpected.
Tell me about it.
Wait, one moment, please. And he rushes out of the room and comes back into the room with these two sort of small stones. No, sorry, not two small stones. These two small vials. These two vials with this sort of sparkling blue liquid. They're only literally like this big. And they feel very, very warm to the touch when you sort of pass them to you. These are very precious to me. There are not a lot of liquid like this left in existence. You may have heard of the Tree of Vitality, scattered all over Ambyr. It can offer a lot of properties, harnessing the sap, mixing with different ingredients. To drink one of these potions will restore some of the arcane energy within yourself. I do not wish to see another friend die. Please, Gylndan, be careful. I'm sorry I cannot go with you.
Press a hand on his shoulder and say...
I give one of these to you, and you had a cleric friend. He uses lots of spells, no?
Yes.
Give this one to him as well.
Of course.
Use it wisely. They are one-time use sort of thing, obviously. You must drink the full vial. Yes. I'm not a religious man, but I will pray for you, Gylndan. I truly will. I hope to see you again.
Shoulder and say thank you, friend.
Thank you. I will ensure this letter gets to your friend. Thank you. And you sort of...
I should point out, only give it to her if I don't come back.
Oh,
yes.
Confessing on dialogue.
Yes. Oh. Okay. Yes. Will do. And with that, he will sort of lead you back out thing. Remind you that if you live, there is always a position sort of open for
He's always business
for a lecture, or not necessarily for a job, but to give a lecture about the adventuring life of a wizard and stuff like that. And he leads you go. These two vials, by the way, when you drink them, can restore a certain amount of stuff. So they can restore one level 3 spell slot, one level 2 and one level 1 spell slot, or 3 level 1 spell slots.
So up to...
So think of like up
3
to
levels
3,
of spells.
basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's quite good.
Yeah, it's not bad.
Well, if I go back to the others, I'll immediately give on to Doc and say a little gift from our friend at the college.
Can I go and buy... find out how much it would cost me to buy some... Is it studded leather armour that's the next one up from leather armour?
Yeah.
Because I think I've just got leather armour.
Yeah, the minute you just have leather. You can go and buy studded leather. That'll be 45 gold pieces.
Okay.
You head back to you can head back to Hammer if you'd like. They'll give you all a bit of a discount. It's only 40. It's only 40 gold pieces. He's
nice.
very, very happy to see you all before you get there. Even Doc, especially Doc. He realizes you're in a little bit of a rush. Can see the sort of like quite concerned look on your faces as he sort of hands you. He doesn't just hand you like any old sort of leather jerkin out there. He like makes sure he can see how concerned you guys look. He's like, oh, I'd better get a good one. So he goes sort of into the back and finds a very, very nice sort of leather jerkin that you can wear underneath your underneath your coat for a bit more protection.
Awesome.
So you can increase your AC by 1, I think it is.
Yeah. Nice.
And with that, what would you like to do? You gonna head off?
Let's roll out.
I'm Ready to roll out, I think, yeah.
I would like to pick up a supply of like a journal, basically, and then like ink and stuff like that. So I can start like writing some stuff down.
Okay, that'd be like 5 silver pieces. For like a little journal and thing. Oh, also the crew are going to need 50. They remind you that okay, you want us to meet in the Shattered Coast. Am I right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Cool. We need 15 gold for food and supplies for us to get from here to there because that's like 2 weeks worth of travel.
Bleeding you dry.
Oh,
Well, like a week and a half, 2 weeks. Yeah, like 10 days worth of travel.
What's 39 minus 15?
24.
Yeah. Taking that off. Give it
Sweet.
to the crew.
Sweet. And you can all head off. Now, you head via one of the northern gates, and you begin on your road towards the tower. And I would usually have you make survival checks. However, this road is very, very sort of heavily guarded. So you immediately sort of start heading up and towards the river. The road is very, very well guarded. And there are actually shuttles for soldiers and as well mercenary bands of volunteers.
Sorry, I've just thought, do we want to buy any healing potions before we set off? We have got a party fund of $1 million.
Nah,
Probably a good idea.
don't want them healing potions.
They might
I mean,
be
considering that-
lifesavers.
Doc's the only one who can really heal. I mean, I'll give you like
I've
4
got
health.
two. I've got 2 like potions.
How do you?
God knows where I picked them up from.
No, yeah, you've got 2 red potions.
Yes.
You think they might be healing? You think?
I have 1 healing potion, but willing to increase that.
We could all take 1 each. Like we could go and buy it, so we've all got 1 each, or 1 extra each.
I think
1 extra.
one will be because we've not ever been so desperate. Yeah, we've never had to use one before, if that makes
Can we
sense.
check out, like, you can say, well, we're in capital, we've got healing potions
How much
to
would-
determine what they are.
Yeah, how much would they cost?
Oh. Okay, are you gonna get Gylndan's potions examined?
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll pay for that with the party fund.
Yeah, so it'll be 10 gold to get them examined, and the little halfling wizard behind the counter immediately looks at them and he's like, "Oh my, thank God you didn't drink these! What? I mean, one of these is fucking poison." Throws that behind him, it smashes on the floor. Sort of waves his hands over. Some sort of faulty invisibility potion. Doesn't a lot of different compounds of it. Ugh. What the hell did you get these from?
First of all, we like our money back because you just smashed one of our potions.
Yeah, we might have had a use of that poison.
Okay. He doesn't smash it. Obviously, he doesn't smash it. He sort of like places it down, like very, very far away from him, which for a halfling isn't very far at all. But yeah, he's very, very concerned. So it seems like all along, I'm kind of thanking God you didn't do that because I would have felt very, very mean. You had 1 poison and 1 weird
Shitty
invisibility potion.
Can you
One
imagine
rather-
how? I mean, not funny, but it would have been quite funny if we'd like been in the heat of battle, and then someone's like, I don't know, Matt goes down. Don't worry, Matt, I've got you. Stop pouring poison.
It is a invisibility potion, weirdly mixed with a really amateurly made truth potion, almost to like fill the bottle. As you can see, the sort of like little bits of the sort of 2 different potions sort of connecting and curdling almost.
I also need rations, that's sorry, I meant to say I need rations before we head out.
Yeah, you can fill up your rations. How many rations do you have?
I have 2.
You have 2. All right, that's
Are we
like
supposed to be taking them off on the boat?
Yes, you were.
Oh, then
Okay.
I mean-
on boat.
We were fishing the whole time.
I'd like
There
to
was
I
a-
have
say-
there was
58
a-
rations, so I could have shared them around.
Yeah, same. I've got.
Yeah,
quite a few.
we'll respectfully say that. And for those of you who want to refill your rations, we can refill them with 3 gold.
3 gold each, or just 3 gold to get up to?
Three gold each to get up to your max, which is 10.
Okay.
Oh, I've got 9 days rations.
That's 30 gold then.
For you, Oramis, it'd be like 2 copper for like that one.
Oh,
Nice.
so there's 3 gold to refill all 10. That's
Full.
3 gold for each ration.
Yeah, 3 gold to refill
okay, got
all
that.
10.
That seemed pricey.
I'm not.
Capital prices, man.
Okay, and then let's just look at this. How much is a here? Well, does this wizard have any healing potions he can sell us?
He has 3 basic healing potions for 25 gold each. That is 2d4 plus 2.
Take all 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, cool. That's 75 gold.
We've still got 815 gold in the party fund.
Hey, Vay.
Cool.
What are we buying?
Oh, you're good.
Let's get through this first then. So we've
Let's
got
go.
4 healing potions between the 4 of us.
4 of you. Yes.
so we've got 1 each, yeah.
Yeah, one
Yeah.
each.
Nice.
Ben, I'd have just left those potions with the guy. I think they wouldn't have been much use to us as well.
I was very worried.
Sell to him?
I don't think he's going to buy the.
He'll give you 3 silver pieces for the poison. For the other one, he will happily pour it down the drain for you.
Nice.
Just chuck the 3 silver pieces in the party fund.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay. Let us. Ben, sorry, you were starting an excellent description of our travel.
Yes, so you head out and you head along the northern road. Signs taking you to a town called Gylndan and the King's River, which is the sort of river that heads up from you up to that lake. The travel is sort of abrupted very, very shortly, like 10-15 minutes down the road, as sort of it appears that a lot of guards are sort of patrolling this road, and they sort of stop you and like, halt, where are you guys going?
To the tower.
To the tower, okay. There are many adventuring groups heading to the tower, all being of some use. Thank the gods that adventurers such as you have, pitched in when times are needed to defend against these monsters. If you just wait here a moment, we'll acquire you a cart, and we will take you up the river ourselves.
Oh, we're riding Chikara, by the way.
Oh, you're riding Chikara. Then they will get a couple of guards to escort you, like alongside Chikara on horses, up the thing. As there have been numerous sort of, you're getting closer to the tower. There are numerous sort of attacks being thinged there. And though I would usually get you to do survival checks, I won't, because you are able to sort of walk there yourselves with this armored guard, and it doesn't seem like anything approaches you. As you're traveling on Chikara seems happy to have you guys sort of back on her back, and she's happy to see Gylndan again, and it's very, very clear your bond is beginning to form a little more. You're occasionally like feeding her a little bit of rations or whatever, and she seems pretty happy. But in the distance, you can see the sort of smokestack rising from a local village, and the smell of smoke sort of wafts through the air. And the closer you get, you can hear a man sort of shouting and parading around. You can then hear, as you get closer, like within maybe a couple of 100 meters, the wails of a woman crying. And as you get to the village itself, so the village sort of passes over this main road just by this sort of river here, you can see the remains of a town. The town is almost completely burned to the ground. Still embers and flames in some areas just sort of trickling away. People are sort of crying and wailing as around like 24 bodies are covered in blankets, all laid out very neatly around the area. A priest wearing bright yellow robes with a large sort of sun and moon symbol, almost like this sort of circular symbol cut in sort of diagonally half, with the sun on this side and the moon on this side, is sort of standing there like this. We must repent. This is our punishment. We treat the gods, children, and other deities as we treat Pelor and Frey. This has to stop. We must repent. We must bring down the temples, bring down the shrines, pray to them, sure, but we are treating them with the same respect as we do Pelor and Frey. This is them. This is their punishment against us. And it's very, very clear that these are some sort of extremists of this belief that there are only two main gods, Pelor and Frey. They stand there. They do seem to be clerics. They are wearing some of them are wearing armor with these large sort of morning star things there. The morning stars with the spikes on the ball at the end, being almost like little curved spikes, almost like the sun. And they stand watching you all as you go past, especially Doc, seeing a cleric of another god is a little displeasing to a couple of them, just as they pass.
Can I just stare them down, but then also use thaumaturgy to make my eyes change colour to freak them out a little bit?
This does freak them out a little bit, but then you see a dwarf, and you stare him almost in the eyes, and this dwarf stares at your face. Move along, fucking cretin. He stands very, very solemnly, just staring you down. Like, this is sort of like creeped a couple of the others out, but for him, he is particularly angry with you, particularly sort of pissed off at you, for whatever reason. You pass the village, and then further down the river you pass another small hamlet, or at least the remains of what people have abandoned this hamlet now for maybe a couple of weeks. There, you can tell there was sort of attempts to rebuild it. There are scaffoldings and things around in an attempt of rebuilding it, but there is also evidence of a battle. A small one, a small scuffle, and blood over the area. The guards will tell you that, these are the places that have been hit the worst as you get closer and closer to the tower. It now appearing more megalithic and gargantuan every step you take towards it. It is... So you set off at around 10 o'clock in the morning. It is now about 6 o'clock at night. The sun is beginning to fall from the sky, and you arrive just about at the base of the tower. The tower sort of hovers over the lake. The lake itself sort of ripples unnaturally quickly, all sort of emanating from the center of the tower. Guards and soldiers form a shield wall you can see all the way around. And because of you guys' help, this is a rather thick wall. You can see more soldiers by the day are coming in and pouring in from aid from the north and things like that. And a few of them, as you get closer, recognize you and sort of nod and can probably assume what you're about to do. As you get closer, you are directed towards a camp, and the guards say, "Go in there. The general on duty will assign you to a troop. Good luck. We'll hopefully see you again." And they leave you. You now stand at the beginning, at the sort of this sort of group of tents. There is a much larger tent in the middle. From a couple of cards, you were directed over to the larger tent, and before you stands a general. This general is an elf, a half-elf, it seems. He is rather old. He has this sort of thin, sort of graying beard, quite large, sort of like medium armor, on him, but this large sort of shoulder pauldron of this sort of face with its tongue out. It's kind of weird, but also kind of cool. On his back, there's a spear, and in his hand, he's clutching this shield. He has been through a lot. A lot of the men around you have been through a lot. And just as you approach, you can just hear this. And then this. As something miles above you has spawned and is flying through the clouds. You can't see it, but you know it's probably there. And you can hear this screech disappear off into the distance. He greets you. Hello. What are you gents doing here? Get lost or something, or are you here to help?
We're here to take over.
Take over, calm your horses there, son. What the hell do you mean take over? How would you like to help? We have a couple of ranks we need to fill, of course.
We're the Guardians, my man.
He drops his shield. Literally just straight drops it. You're the... No. That was a funny joke. That is a very, very funny joke. Do you know how many friends we've lost in there? This is no time for fucking joking, okay? This is
We know exactly
serious.
how many friends you've lost, which is why we're here. To put an end to it.
Well, let me tell you this, you're not the first adventuring party to go in there claiming that they're the Guardians. I mean, even the bloody Sentinels went in there.
Who?
Go on.
Sentinels
Hey.
of
Inksworth.
Inksworth.
yeah. Those
Yeah.
the ones that had slightly cooler statues than us.
Yeah. They went
Bunch
in there a
of
couple of
pretenders.
days ago. They never came out. So, what makes you lot think you're any different?
Well, just showing the ring. No explanation. Just
Whip
hope
out
the
the-
confidence.
Whip out the
will,
group CV.
Nice ring.
Look, we've dealt with demons and gods before. You may have heard of us, Heroes of Lone Hill, Heroes of Inksworth, and also more recently the Heroes of Northgard.
Heroes
We're
of
kind of a big deal.
Northgard. Oh! Mazzarious! Huh. Can't believe it. Of course. Look exactly like Daviak. The scar, I thought you were just a very, very similar lookalike. Hello, you probably don't remember me. It was years ago now. How's your brother doing?
He's doing well. Commanding his own troops, leading the fight in the north.
Yes, yes. I heard quite the victory up there. Yours, huh? Maybe there's some truth to you lot after all. I did hear the brother of Daviak and a few fellow men helped save Northgard, along with... Is it true a Minotaur was there? What the hell was that about?
It still shocks me to this day.
Minotaurs and Amber, I mean...
I thought they'd be taller.
Minotaurs and Amber are a fucking massive tower. What the hell's coming next? Anyway, if you boys
And
want
soon you'll see some dragons. I mean, who knows what will happen.
Lord, yeah, wouldn't that be a thing? Look, if you boys want to go in and get yourselves killed, be my guest. But don't expect us to pay for your funeral. This country's in damn crisis at the minute.
Hang on, General.
What about positivity?
You must have some information. What are we dealing with here?
I mean, I don't bloody know. I've never been in there. Obviously, that guard came in and said something about trials, 5 doors, each with different symbols on them: fire, ice, poison. Was it acid and not thunder, lightning? That was it. But I mean, I have no idea. All we really do is hold the fort out here for anything that can sort of come around. But they're getting fucking smart now. They're The ground troops are now spawning with the aerial ones up in the air. Ones with wings fly them over us. It's we're being spread thin.
Try and get this done
Look,
quick
if you
before
boys think you can make a difference, on right ahead. But well, I won't keep an ale for you. I won't keep the light on. Please, by all means. And he points you towards the lake, and he's like, "Those who have entered have walked into the lake. They've disappeared from there. Guess that's how you're getting in. I'd say good luck, but I don't think it'll really help."
Oh, this guy's a fucking bundle of joy, isn't he?
Yeah, Jesus.
He's seen a lot. He's definitely seen a lot.
The laugh a minute.
What would
Right.
you like to do?
Lads,
Let's head in.
are we ready?
We could just have a little team huddle first.
I mean,
Yeah.
considering that it's 10:15, do we want to try and enter next session?
Well, I think so. I don't think there's anything in the main foyer bit, and I think maybe it'd be cool to enter one of the 5 doors and then maybe end it there.
Okay,
Yeah.
sounds good.
Cliffhanger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. So, you all resolve yourself. You take a minute to sort of breathe. Dokrumir, you say a couple of words to Apollo. Maybe even Oramis, you say a couple of words to Dolus, sort of hoping, begging that maybe he might help. But all you hear in your mind is like.
That's a good sign. All you hear in your mind is some insane laughter.
You steel your resolve briefly, and you walk towards the lake. As you step into the lake, it's like there's not even water there. The water ripples and it moves around you, but it's not like walking through water. It's just like like you were just walking down a regular path. The water doesn't even get your clothes wet. It's strange. And as you sort of keep walking in, it goes from your ankles, knees, waist, shoulders, neck. Take a breath. Enter the lake. Closing your eyes from the sort of, the sort of murky water. And when you open them, you appear in a large, desolate room. The room itself is pretty big. Think like 60 feet all around. It's a circle. In the center of the room is this plinth made of what looks like pure gold. Upon the plinth are 5 keyholes. Very, very well. They look like keyholes anyway. They are sort of. You can see the sort of circle with a smaller circle within, and even within, you can see these sort of huge locks that are there. These huge sort of mechanisms and locks and things. All around you, you see 5 doors. One with a symbol of flame on it, and you can see around the door this sort of almost like charring. The door for ice has this sort of frost peering over the door, and you can hear this sort of howling wind. The one for acid, you can see, has been sort of mottled away. The wood for the door is old and decrepit. The one for poison is similar, but less sort of mottled away, and more just, you can see the sort of roots of the wood that built this door, the tree that built this door was tainted somehow. And the one for lightning, you can just hear this loud, galing wind coming from it, and you can hear the sort of door rattling and shaking. Above you is nothing. You can't even see the ceiling. This tower is huge, megalithic. You could see it all the way from where you were at the very, very beginning of this campaign. It is huge, and doesn't seem like there's any floors that, as far as you can see, and there is no light source either. Beyond about 30 feet, small sconces light the surrounding of this room. Nothing
Which
greets you.
door?
There is silence. Which door?
I'll level with you boys. I don't think any of them sound too tempting.
We're here to do a job.
Yeah.
So, eeny, meeny, mo.
Shall I go for the thunder? The lightning room first.
Alright. I mean,
Which one do we feel we have more confidence in?
none of them. They're all difficult.
I'm just saying the lightning one because it's kind of like sailing on a stormy sea, and it's the closest we've got to a home field advantage.
I think they're all going to be difficult, so we'll just go with lightning because there's no better reason to go with the other one.
Okay. You walk towards the door. You place your hand on the rattling door. It's actually quite hard to place your hand on this handle as sort of rattling and shaking. As you get close, you can hear this wind and gale getting louder and louder. And as you place your hands on the door, you can hear this sound in this low female voice. This finally, welcome to my trials. The voice disappears and fades, and you can just hear these whispers now coming from the other side of the door. This screech, this terrible like from the other side of the door. It is hard to push open. A strong wind pushes against it. You try with all of your might to push against that, and you eventually do manage to push it open. Lightning flashes before you. You shut the door behind you, and it slams, like when you're sort of pushing, you're pushing a door against the wind, and it just sort of all of a sudden slams shut. And we'll end the session there.
Oh, so have we got inside? Let's just slam shut behind us.
You have gone inside.
What can we actually see?
Nothing.
Nothing.
You gotta find out next session.
You'll find our next session, my boy.
Oh, fair enough.
Right. Well,
How long have you been
Thanks,
planning these things, Ben? Just out of interest.
I'm going to level with you, lads. I have had the maps and all of this prepared before you fought V.
Yeah.
oh damn.
I have had all of this prepared before you fought V, and then you fought V, and I decided to level you up, so I made it a bit harder. Accidentally made it way too hard, and I'm thanking God you guys decided, no, we should probably try and level up a little bit first.
Nah, it'll be fine. It's all very cool, though.